Hello Chasitopians, and welcome back to my channel. So today is Thursday, the day that I'm filming this, and I really had it on my heart last night to do a Transformation Thursday video because I just feel like there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, and specifically like hone in on thinking that I don't deserve the things that are happening in my life, and just always being that person that's constantly like looking over their shoulder and like expecting the worst when really like I'm a great person. I should be expecting the best, and just hone in on that like traumatic response that I have to new things and the things that are happening in my life and just good stuff in general. I think it's also been a while since I really shared parts of my story and just like got into a deep conversation about where I came from and the things that I've been through and how they influence my thinking today, my mindset, my motivation, and all those things. And I just want to kind of go back and like re-relate this channel to who I am. Before I get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel down below. I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for your support, and let's jump right into it. Okay, so most people start their stories from beginning to end, but for me, I feel like I need to start at the end where I am right now in order for you guys to get the big huge picture that I'm trying to paint about not feeling like you can accept the things that are happening to you and the things that you're living in currently, such as prayers and manifestations and things that you worked really hard to get to, and still being that person that's like, okay, what's the catch? When is this gonna end? Like, what's going to make this whole entire beautiful thing that I've created just crumble into a million pieces? Let's talk about today specifically, April 14th, 2022. Today, last year, I was a completely different person in a completely different spot with a completely different mindset for the most part. Little things like focusing on YouTube and finding a way out of like, you know, financial debt and all those type of things. Like those things were the same, but like completely different life mindset of where I wanted to be and what I wanted to be doing right about now. This time last year, I was actually in Panama City Beach with my best friend. We were living our best life. We were popping off. We were at the bar. We were on the beach. We were in the clubs. Like we were tearing it up. And you guys, my life has transformed tremendously since then. Today, you guys know I live in my own apartment. I have my own car that I bought off the lot. I'm a mother almost. I am a wife. Everything has changed just in the most beautiful way, but in the craziest way that I could have never expected happening in the span of 1 year. I'm the type of person though, where my heart says I am blessed, I am happy, I love my life. My mind says what is next. And I just told Chris this because I'm very open with him about how I'm feeling. I was like, every time I get a new job or every time I go somewhere or do something or accomplish something, I feel like I'm not at the end. I'm not near the goal. And that's true, but at the same time, I'm not giving myself credit for how far I've come. I'm just constantly like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's my next move? What am I doing? What am I working towards? Like even being in a job, I'm never like, oh, I'm gonna be here 50 years. Not this girl. I'm always like, what is next? Do I go back to school? Do I put more emphasis on my YouTube channel? Do I work on my music? Like, what is next for me? This is not it. I'm not making enough money. I am not living in the situation that I want to be living in, essentially. And I need to know what's next to get me to where I want to be. It is, and I cannot stress this enough, it is a trauma response. I don't know if you guys know this. I put it in my description every week. I'm 23 years old. I'm only 23 years. I just turned 23 years old. And I have so much more than the average 23-year-old has nowadays. You know, the cost of living is up, wages are not up. So to be able to have my own space, to have beautiful furniture, to have nice clothes, to have a beautiful wedding ring on my finger, have like, you know, just an amazing home, wonderful possessions, a wonderful husband. I'm having a baby. Like 23-year-olds are not, this is not on their radar right now. And for me to be able to live in a safe, amazing environment, do what I love, work to make an income and all those things, like I am so blessed. But my mind is always like, girl, what are we doing? This isn't a house, it's just an apartment. Or that car, that ain't a Lexus, that ain't a Mercedes. But it's me doing amazing right now with the resources that I have right now. Because I could be on the bus, I could be in mama's house, I could have a really horrible relationship and an abusive partner. And it's just like, whoa, slow roll, slow roll, slow roll. Be grateful in the now for what you have, and be knowing that you are deserving of what you have right now. I deserve this. I worked really hard to get this, and I am here because of me. I think what's next is a great question to have on your brain. I think it's a great place to be most of the time, because you always want to work to better yourself. You want to grow. You want to do what you feel like you need to be doing to get to where you feel like you want to be. But at the same time, I think we lack appreciation for what we currently have. We're always not coveting. I don't want to say coveting to sound like super biblical, but it is coveting. We're always just thinking about what the next person has that we don't have, when really there's someone behind us that is jealous of us for having what we have because they don't have it. In reality, I look up and I have everything that I prayed for. Everything that I wanted in life for the beginning base plan is here. The reason I say it's a trauma response is because when I was little, I felt like I lacked a lot. I was loved, I was taken care of. Like, my mom went above and beyond to raise us. Like, we don't deserve her as a mother. But at the time, I couldn't see that bigger picture. And so a lot of times I felt like I was this family outcast, and like I was different. I was different because I was more passionate about not doing the same thing everybody else was doing. I was kind of like in my own world, and I always felt like, okay, I want to build a life where I can be the center point of my own life, where I can express myself and love myself. And not that I didn't feel loved. I don't feel like I love myself because other people had their own opinions about me. That spoke really loud into my life, and it really impacted the way that I was growing. I was growing in this direction where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do what people think I should do. I'm going to stay in band and focus on getting this specific scholarship, and I'm gonna go to college at this specific school because, oh my god, everybody would be so proud of me if I went here. Not that I didn't want to go there, but it was just like, it was the thing to do. Like, I had to dress to impress. Like, my entire life had to be dressed down to the nines. In reality, college did not work out for me because I'm not an educational person after all. You know, I'm smart, I can take a test, I can do a class, but my heart is not in it. I am an artistic person. I'm a creative person, a theatrical person. And I think that is where my passion lies. So it's like when I went to school, it was like, okay, this is the same crap that I already learned in high school that I'm getting charged to learn now, and it's really boring, and I can't really relate to the people around me. And not being able to relate to people is something that I still struggle with. I was just watching a bunch of videos about building friendships and building relationships because I really do want that connection with other people, like in real life, not just like here on camera or like through social media, but in real life. And I feel like I've outgrown a lot of my friends from whenever, because, you know, I'm in a whole different phase of life. I'm like in my 30s, but I'm only 20 something. It's maturity, but it's also like, you know, I knew I wanted more than just running the streets and clubbing and partying and not getting anything productively done. I'm not saying I don't like to have a good time. I love to have a good time, but my mom always said, you have this amount of resources, let's say money. What do you have to show for it? And if I'm out blowing my money and spending it on this and that and the other, and I have no house, I have no car, I have no real anything to show for it, like, what are you doing? And honestly, it also comes down to different strokes for different folks. You know, I believe that I want a life. I want a place to live. I want to be cute. I want a husband. I want a cute family. Like, I want that life. And that might not be the life everybody wants, but that's the life that I want. And then sometimes I'm kind of like, I step back, and in another light, I'm like, okay, am I different because I want this and nobody else seems to care about having a marriage, having a family, having a home anymore? That's not on people's radar anymore. And I think it's just, you know, like I said, to each his own, different strokes for different folks. Like, that's just what I personally wanted out of this life. And I think sometimes I felt crazy because I wanted that, and I know that the people around me didn't want that. And then I realized, okay, I don't have to change me and my perspective and what I want and my vision for my life. I just change people around me. I need to find people who have things in common with me, who are moving in the same direction as me. And like, when I say moving in the same direction as me, I don't mean like, oh, you want to be a mother and a wife and a domestically contained person. I just mean goal oriented, and you want to get out and you want to move away from this traumatic crap that you have going on that's holding you back. I mean, like, people who don't use excuses, people who don't let things get in their way, people who don't bring up a million reasons why they can't do something but have one good reason why they can. The company that you keep can definitely keep you from feeling like you deserve the life that you have, because they will, like, you know, throw shady shots at you and say things, and you're like, even though you feel like you're always encouraging the people around you and you're trying to help them and better their lives, like, it becomes an investment. It becomes an emotional investment that you just really can't afford, because they're not trying to actually move. They're just trying to put you down and bring you down with them so you guys can be miserable together. That was definitely a key point in one of the videos I watched, that when you bond with somebody over trauma, it's hard to let go of your own baggage because they just want to play in that trauma forever. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to live in it anymore. I want to let it go. I want to cut it off. And I want to move forward with this beautiful life that I do have. Knowing where you came from is a wonderful thing. Not forgetting where you came from is a wonderful thing. It'll help you go back and reminisce and remember why you're moving forward, why you're trying to better your life. But at the same time, you don't want to just sit there and lounge in that trauma. Yes, I came from a broken home. Yes, I was abused. Yes, this, that, and the other. But once you work through that and you get through it and you stop responding to everything with trauma, you learn to accept what is around you. You accept what is good. You accept what is beautiful, and you move forward dramatically. Another struggle I have with trying to appreciate where I am and accept the things that have been given to me graciously by the universe is I felt like it was unnatural for me to feel like I need to constantly be moving around. And what I mean is, like, I bounce a lot between jobs, between living situations, between relationships, friendships. I bounce a lot. And I thought that I was crazy, but really it's just a constant need for growth and betterment. Honestly, I think you have to find a healthy balance between wanting more and loving what you have. You can always strive to be better. You can always strive to want more, but you have to also appreciate what you have. And so what I mean is, yes, I live in an apartment. I live in a gorgeous apartment. I have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a beautiful kitchen, a huge living area. Like, I love my apartment. Do I want to stay here forever? No. Do I appreciate where I am right now? Absolutely. I love my space. I'm blessed because this time last year I wasn't in this space. I was in my mom's house in a bedroom that I partially shared with my little sister, but kind of didn't, because we had another bedroom. My brother wasn't home and she took over his bedroom. And so, like, it was kind of just a big jumbled multi-purpose space. And now I have my own space where I can keep it clean, clutter-free. I can decorate it how I want. I can turn the air on if I want to, turn the heat on if I want to, light it how I want, put plants everywhere if I want. It's my space, and I'm so eternally grateful for that. But at the same time, I want to move forward and buy a house in the next year or 2. I want to be able to have a bigger space so I can grow my family there. I'm married now. I have a baby on the way. And this space was beautiful. It has been so great over the last year. But I'm ready to elevate my life again. And, like, that's not unnatural. That's not weird. That's not crazy. Yes, I got what I wanted, but now it's time for me to elevate again and get what I want more. I think I let a lot of people get in my head too, like, oh, like, why you need to move, or why you need more, like, I don't even have an apartment yet, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, this is my life. This is what I want. This is what I envision. Like, I don't shit on your plans, so why would you shit on mine? But that goes back to your toxic friends and all that stuff, which we can talk about. That's a whole other rabbit hole that I could fall down. But I want you to understand that it's not unnatural to want more, but at the same time, appreciate where you are. I think that it's hard for us to appreciate where we are when people are constantly like, oh, she thinks she's better than me, or she thinks she moved and she don't talk to me anymore. Like, anything like that, any kind of drama and stuff, like, let all that go, because that's part of your trauma. That's part of your baggage. You don't need that. You don't deserve that. You're in a beautiful space now, and you have to remember, like, this is for me. This is for me. This is for me. I think I said it in my I Hate Working video, but, like, my family literally hates this one trait about me, and it is that I do not settle. I just don't. I don't settle, and it's not a bad thing. It's not bad that they criticize me for it, because sometimes I think I do need to slow down. I do move a whole lot, but at the same time, I don't settle. I'm not just gonna work some dead-end 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life and be miserable. Like, I have goals, I have passions, I have plans, I have things I need to accomplish, that I want to accomplish, that I want to see happen in my life, and I'm gonna keep working towards them regardless of what other people think. I'm never going to want to settle into something that's comfortable, but it's not what I want. It's not extravagant. It's not perfectly chastity. And I think a lot of people, like, look down on that, because it's like, oh, well, are you ever really gonna get to the point where you're like, oh, this is it, this is the perfect dream? And I think I am. I think I can acquire that. You know, I'm always gonna want to work more and do more and enjoy more, but at the same time, I think there's a certain point where I'll be like, okay, this is cool, this is chill, I'm living my best life, I'm happy, my kids are happy, my husband's happy, we are happy, we're in our bubble and we are happy. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Me wanting to constantly move around and shift is because I get uncomfortable very easily, and I feel like people take advantage of that, and I don't like that. I don't like people taking advantage of me. I want to make my own decisions, call my own shots, and it's hard to do when you work in a corporate setting. It's hard to do when you have a boss. It's hard to do when you're stuck in this box, and my goal is to get out of the box. If you're watching this video, you are probably looking for an answer to the question, why can't I just accept the things I have and love where I am? And it's probably because you're like me and you're like always ready for what's next. And I think slowing down to pursue gratitude and to just really sit in a moment of just peace and enjoyment is just like, it's not even encouraged these days. Like on social media, you get on there and you're like, oh my God, like I need this, I need that. You see the cars, you see the clothes, you see the money. And I think it's great to strive for those things. I think it's great to want to be successful and want to have a fantastic, fabulous life. But at the same time, I think it's great to just slow down and say, hey, wait, look where I am today versus where I was a year ago. Look how much I've transformed. Look how much I've acquired. Look how much has come to me, and just enjoy being in a beautiful spot in your life while also working towards a more beautiful spot in your life that you want to be in, but appreciating where you are. Stop letting your trauma and your baggage hold you hostage and keep you from getting all the things that you want and all the things that you believe you deserve, and work towards those things. Appreciate where you are no matter what anybody says. Stop letting other people's opinions dictate what you're going to do next, and do what you really want to do, because at the end of the day, it's not going to matter. Why not be you? Why not chase after what you're really passionate about and what you really love and acquire the things that you want? Even if it takes hard work, it does take hard work, but at the end, it's all going to pay off for you. And remember, a little bit of gratitude goes a long, long way. This video might have been all over the place. I really don't know where this is coming from. When I feel something put on my soul, I just start to talk. I ramble, I rant, whatever. I just feel like somebody out there needs to hear this because I need to hear this. And just know that whatever you have is what you deserve. And whatever you're working towards is what you deserve. And you're going to have it one day. You're going to have it in the palm of your hand. And you're going to look back and you're going to say, oh my God, I did it. I'm here. I am blessed, and I'm going to continue to be blessed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel down below. I love you guys so much, and I'm so glad that you came here today to watch this video and to be with me for a little while. I will see you next time. Adios, Chastitopians. Mwah!